Using different languages?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So usability testing is nothing but how easily a application can be accessible, whereas localization testing is nothing but you know, accessing your application in different languages and make sure all the labels, hint, text are displaying in that language, and it is also allowing you to enter in that local language. Okay, let's say you turn your application into Chinese. How can you turn your application into Chinese all of a sudden? Okay, so what we can do is we'll go to the browser, we'll set the browser language to the Chinese. Okay, as in when we set the browser language to Chinese, and when you access your application, it will be displayed. All the information will be displayed, labels, hint messages, error text, everything will be displayed in the Chinese language. It has to be displayed. In case if it is displaying in some other language, that's a fault. Okay, and how Chinese will give their name? They will give their name in Chinese language only. Okay, they will not enter in English. Okay, they will be having a separate a software which will convert their English characters into Chinese characters. Okay, it will enter Chinese characters, and once we create our account, or once we log in something, okay, it should be able to recognize that particular text, and it should be able to allow you to log in. Okay, usually username and password will be in English only, they will not allow Chinese. Okay, but the name, while they creating an account, the name will be in Chinese. Okay, so what I'm going to say is that the labels, the hint text, error messages, and if there are any images in the image text also, it should be specific to a particular language. And apart of that, it should also allow to enter you Chinese characters. Okay, particularly in username and address, such kind of things. Yeah. So let's write a test case for this. Okay, let's copy this. Let's say localization testing is nothing but TLT. Okay, and so what we can write here, Sunny, Sonia, Raj, or Swapna, can somebody help me? How can we write this? Okay, yeah, you can. Okay.
Like applications should be accessible in different languages.
Yeah, yes, that's right. Okay, yeah, that's the expected output. Let me write actual test case and description. So what we can do is,
Use
yeah, yeah, Raj, please go ahead.
use the browser settings to turn it into a different language.
Yeah, that's right. Open the browser and set the browser language to Chinese. Okay, and open the Facebook on a browser by using the URL. Okay, and let's say if your customer is asking you for different other languages, for example, for Korean and Japanese, French and all, it's almost similar to English, the characters wise. Okay, we don't need to we don't use symbols first of all. Okay, so these are the other languages customer is expecting. Okay, in that case you can write like this. Okay, and the expected output is should be displayed all the labels, hint text, and hint text, error messages if any. If you are making any mistake, it should show the error also in that particular in that particular language, and it should also allow name, address in the specified language. Okay, yeah, that's about localization testing. Yeah, I think we are done with all this stuff. Security testing should be non-functional. Okay, so we'll move with that to non-functional test case sheet. Let's look into non-functional test cases which we already identified. Okay, so these are the functional. Let's look into non-functional test cases. Oh, so many we identified. Just these many required. Okay, so database we done already. Okay, and security also we done. Okay, so let's move this. Okay, if somebody has any difficulty with database test cases, okay, I tell them one thing. Okay, so whatever we enter in the system, let's say you are signing up for Amazon site. Okay, so when you are signing for Amazon site, you'll be entering username, password, your email ID, your address, right? You'll be giving all this information. At the end, you'll be clicking on create an account where your information will be stored, all the account details, where it will be stored. It will be stored in the database. Okay, so that we anyway understood, right? So it will be stored in the database. When it is stored in the database, your responsibility is that, as a tester, your responsibility is that you have to make sure whether it is really stored in the database. Okay. So I given, for example, my name is Sudhir. I given username as Sudhir Kumar. Okay. When I create an account, is my name display, is my name stored in the database as it is, or anything is missing there? Okay, which we have to ensure. Okay. So that's enough.
So is there a software that we're using to find out, or how will we find out it's being stored?
Yeah, there will be a software. Okay, so there are some software. So let's say database only will provide some softwares to you where you can able to see whether the data you entered is actually stored or not. Okay,
All right, thank you.
thanks. Okay, let's move the security testing also to the non-functional test cases. Okay, it's already there. Let's copy it here. So let's look into other test types. One is performance testing. Okay, so performance, let's see, where is performance? Okay, here it is. So in the performance, what we are going to check is that, okay, we make sure the application is responsiveness in the specified time. Okay, for example, I'm logging to an application. Okay, so until it logins, okay, you can go and have a cup of coffee. If that much time it is taking, so will anybody accept this? Okay, will anybody shows interest to log into your application anytime? Okay, by mistake they have created the account, but will they able to log in anytime if it is taking more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Okay, so nobody will prefer to take it. Yeah, sorry, there was a small interruption in the power. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, please, everyone be mute. Okay, so it's a performance test cases. We have to make sure that it is PT and okay, let's copy this one and paste it here. So in the performance test cases, we have to make sure that the application is responding on a specified time. Okay, so For a login, how many seconds you will be allowed to log in? If it is a login functionality, how many times, how many seconds you are okay, to be wait?
4 seconds.
4 seconds. Okay, yeah, that's enough. Okay, 4 seconds is reasonable. Beyond that, if it is taking more time, I don't know. 1 second.
Are we given this time the timing by the customer from the customer?
Exactly. Okay, so I can allow maximum of 4 seconds. Okay,
So they will let us know how much time it should be taking.
there should be a specified time we have to make sure. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, there is something is wrong here. I couldn't able to no fill. Okay, yeah. So open Facebook on a browser by using our URL. Enter the username, valid username and password. Click on login button. Okay. So it's oh God. Okay, why it is not coming? Okay, should it should not take more than 4 seconds. Okay. So make sure your internet connection is proper. Okay, that's a prerequisite. And we also have to specify some data here. Okay, if there are not many users in your database and you are trying to log into the application, yeah, it will be logging in very fast. So then what happens if you are having some 5 crore users in your application and you are trying to log in? Okay, so even though it should be able to allow you 4 seconds. Okay, so make sure. Okay, we have to specify a data, how much data an application is already having. Number of users, 5 crore, 5 crore users. Okay. If it is a Facebook, right? Number of posts. Okay, 10 posts, something like some data we have to specify it here. Okay, so you take any application will be having some data, right? You are trying to log into a Citibank application. Okay, so it will be having in the data, in their database there will be a number of users. Okay, at least 10 million users will be there, and for every user there will be a lot of transactions and lot of orders. Okay, so will be there. Okay, so any application will be having certain data. Without the data there won't be any application, right? So in that case, for non-functional test cases, especially for performance load stress, okay, we have to make sure that there is some data is available in the system so that we can measure the correct responsiveness. Okay. And you can also write like this, one more test case. Okay, okay, you enter invalid username and invalid password. Okay, it should not take more than 3 seconds. Okay, so it doesn't require, in fact 2 seconds are enough. Okay, they don't send the data to, okay, 2 seconds are enough to get the responsiveness from the database. Okay, So who will give you this 2 second and 4 second? Is that you are assuming or is somebody giving to you? This is important. Who is giving this data to you?
Customer.
Yes, exactly. Okay. And where you get this information as a tester?
From the requirement.
Exactly. Okay. So these two things we have to remember. One is customer and the other one is requirement. Every time we'll be referring to these two things. Okay. So what is a load test? Okay. So load test is nothing but when an application is loaded maximum. Okay. So for example, so this application customer says that okay, so it should support at least with 10 crore users. Okay. Right now the number of users are 5 crores. In a nominal, in a normal scenario, there are 5 crores users will be logged in at any point of time. Okay, so at certain certain times like when there are festival or when there are holidays, people tend to log in Facebook more often. Okay, and there will be many will be logging in. Okay, as it is a holiday to them, most of the people will be logged into the Facebook, and in that case maximum it should allow 10 crore users. Okay, so during the load testing we increase please note down, during the load testing we increase the load gradually until it reaches to the maximum load. Once it reaches to the maximum load, we'll perform certain operations and make sure the application is responding properly. Okay, and it is not crashing and it is not throwing any memory leaks and it is not leaking any memory. And so it is okay that application can respond slowly because there are maximum number of users are logged in, right? It might respond a little bit slowly, but as and when I decrease the load on the system, it should behave normally. Okay, that's a load testing. Anyway, I'll be sending you all this information, but I also recommend you to note down when I say note. Yeah, please, everyone can be mute. Yes, they can raise.
Why we are using the word workflow here? There's a test.
Okay, let me change it. So this is a template which I'm yeah, that's true. Swapna, I'm using the existing template. Yeah, thanks. One dot 0.1 our version v.0. Okay, just v.0 only. There is no one. Okay, thanks. So I'm working on a dummy template, so where some things are already defined. Okay, I'm just changing it. Okay, so let's change it. This one also. This is perfect, I guess.
In performance testing also.
Yeah. Performance is okay, I guess. And we just modified. In the load testing, we have to change it. Okay, it's a load testing, right? Let's give it as LT. So one more statement you have to write it so that somebody whoever reviews they will feel happy. Increase the load gradually until we reach to the maximum load. Okay. So expectations are that the application should be responsiveness. That's one thing. It should not leak any memory. Should not crash. Okay, because we loaded the application with maximum data. Okay. It should respond in normal way, or it should behave normally. Okay, so this is the expectation. So most of the times these expectations will be as it is. You take anything, the expectations for the load testing will be as it is. Okay. Let's talk about stress testing. Okay, so there is a question definitely, what is the difference between stress and load testing, without which there won't be any interview. Okay, so what is the difference between load and stress testing? So in the load testing, we observe that we increase the load steadily until we reach the maximum level and we perform the actions. Okay, and whereas in the stress testing, what we do is we we increase the load beyond its maximum capacity. Please note down, we increase the, or please remember, we increase the load beyond its maximum capacity until the application crashes, until the application crashes. And we note down what is the crash point. Okay, at which data level, at how many number of users and how many number of posts, at what data level the application got crashed. Okay, that is one thing. And once it is crashed, what is our behavior? I mean, what is our expectation? Okay, so it should not, it should not leak any sensitive data. Okay, so that's what hackers do. Okay, what they do, they will keep on send the request to a application. How they make the application down, how how they will make the application down, how they will try to hack the application. Okay, so what they do is they will send the number of requests to the application like anything. Okay, so beyond its maximum capacity they will send the request to that particular application, and then once as and when it is crashed, they will try to take the sensitive data from that application as and when it is crashed. So they will try to take some sensitive data. Okay, so okay, so it should not leak any sensitive data. That's most important thing. And okay, so that's one thing. So here what we do, increase the load gradually, beyond its maximum capacity. Okay, until it crashes. Okay, here there is no specified data actually, because we keep on increasing the load until we see a crash. And note the uh, crash point. Note the crash point. Okay, at what data level it got crashed. Okay, so what was the difference between load and maximum, sorry, load and stress testing? Can somebody repeat the thing? So Sonia, Sunny, Raj, Sapna, can somebody repeat me? So there is only one thing we'll be expecting from you by the interview. Okay, what was that one point?
Load testing means we are increasing the maximum load up
Okay.
to
Yes.
maximum load,
Yes.
and the stress testing, in stress testing we are giving them beyond the maximum load, and we are make sure that I mean we are doing it, and the system allows to crash.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. So during the during the load testing, what we do is we increase the load to its maximum capacity. Okay, we increase the load to its maximum capacity gradually, and we'll start performing the action. And meanwhile itself will be start performing the actions. Okay, so the load will be keep on increasing. At the same times will be the users will be using the application. Okay, so during the load testing, the application will be increased with the load to its maximum capacity gradually, and we make sure when it reaches to the maximum capacity, we make sure that the application is responding, there is no crash, and it is not leaking any memory, and it is not leaking any sensitive data. It's working well. Okay, as in when we decrease the load from the system, okay, so it should behave normally. So what happens in the maximum load, the application might respond slowly. It should respond, but it might respond slowly. So that is okay, that is acceptable behavior. Okay, but when we decrease the load, the application should respond in normal way. Okay, however earlier it is used to respond in 4 seconds, right, when we log in. So it has to respond in 4 seconds. Maybe when it reaches to maximum load, it might respond instead of 4 seconds, it might respond to 8 seconds, but make sure it is responding. That's one thing. As in when we decrease the load, it should respond in a normal way, that is 4 seconds. That is the expectation. That is a testing of load and expectations from the load testing. When it comes to stress testing, remember, during the stress testing, we test the application beyond its maximum capacity until it crashes. Okay, so I'm telling maximum capacity. Who will be giving this maximum capacity? Are that you assuming it, or somebody is giving to you? If somebody is giving to you, who are they?
Customer is giving.
Yes, and who will be referring that maximum capacity? Where you can see this maximum capacity? Pardon?
Yeah, requirement.
Exactly that. Yeah, you are right. Okay, so anything you want the information, just go through the requirement. That's it. Okay, and also our test plan document, right? We spend a lot of time in writing the test plan document. When if it is not giving the proper information, what was the use? Okay, we also have to refer test plan document. Okay, so all these non-functional test cases which are very similar to each other. Okay, and very easy to remember. Okay, the next one is concurrency test cases. Okay, so what is the concurrency test cases? Does anybody remember any point on that? Okay, so concurrency testing is nothing but testing an application with multiple users simultaneously. Okay, let's say the functionality here, it is login functionality, right? Okay, so what happens if multiple users logged in simultaneously? May not be from the same system. Okay, maybe from different systems, from different places. Okay, so what happens if multiple users are trying to log in the system at the same moment? Okay, there is possibility, right? Okay, for Facebook, if you take, there are 100 core, more than 100 core users. Okay, so there is possibility that at least some 10 or 20 people will be logging in at the same time. There is possibility. Okay, so what happens if multiple users are logged into the system at the same time? Okay, so that is your test case, and you have to make sure that everybody is able to log in successfully. how can we do, how can we ensure that, so all the users will be logged in simultaneously? How can you able to perform this particular test? First of all, let's say you are the one, okay, and you bring some of your colleagues, okay, and you have a timer and said, okay, when I say 1 2 3, you should log in, everybody should log into the application. Will it be that way we do, or any other way? Correct. Now I have to ensure, my test case is to ensure that logging into the system simultaneously with multiple users. How can we test it? How can we do this testing? Okay, earlier, okay, so and very long back, okay, to do this concurrency testing, okay, the company has to bring some 10 to 20 people, or sometimes 100 people, 200 people also. Okay, they will put it in a big conference room. Okay, when they say 1 2 3, everybody has to log into the system, or they have to perform some operation simultaneously. Okay, when they say 1 2 3, everybody has to perform simultaneously that particular operation. So that's how it is used to happen. But bringing in, 100 200 people, it's not so easy, right? Now for every time, for every functionality, bringing so many people and making sure that everybody doing at the same time is not so easy. Okay, so nowadays there is a tools called load runner from the HP. Okay, there is a tool called load runner. Using this tool, we can able to generate the virtual users, okay, from 1 to, thousands of crores. You can generate how many users you want. Okay, so using this load runner tool, we can generate the virtual users. Is nothing but like a user, how a user normally behaves, kind of virtual users. Okay, so it is not physically appearable. Okay, it is kind of software user, you can say. Okay, so we can create virtual users and make sure these virtual users are logging into the performing the operation simultaneously. We'll write some script and we'll give that particular script of actions to these users, and they will perform it. Okay, so that's about load runner. You can also Google it for some time. All the users should be able to log in success fully. This is the expectation from concurrency testing. Okay, I did database performance load, and the tests we done, security also we done. Okay, and concurrency also done. Scalability, I don't think so it is applicable for this particular functionality. For this particular functionality, scalability is not applicable. Scalability testing is nothing but, okay, is your application is scalable to, these many users. Okay, so scalability testing will be done overall, not related to one particular functionality. It will be uh, done overall by. Yeah, everyone please mute, please be in mute. Endurance testing. Endurance testing is nothing but testing an application for multiple days, for long time. Okay, let's take this one only. Let's make it as ET. Okay, what is the expectation from endurance test cases?
Shouldn't leak the memory.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, it should not leak the memory. Okay, because we are running for a longer time. Okay, it should not leak the memory, and it should not crash. Okay, so which is the expectations which is similar to load testing only. Let's take the load testing expectations and copy to there. So it will be done in a, it will not be done in a maximum load. Okay, it will be done in a normal load. Okay, That's one thing important. The endurance testing will be done in a normal load, not on the maximum load. Okay, the application should be responsiveness. It should not leak any memory, it should not crash. So when we have to do, okay, so after 7 days we have to do all these things. Okay, in between if you want to do, you can do that, but actual expectation should be, make sure after 7 days you try to access your application. It should be responsiveness, it should not leak any memory, it should not crash. Once the load is, there is no load here, it's a normal load we use. Okay, so these are the, and data is, okay, so the normal load, in the normal load number of users are 5 crore. In the maximum load the number of users are 10 crore, that we already specified it. And number of post something, okay, it's 10 crore, something like this. And what else is pending? Spike testing, one is spike testing. Okay, this is the only thing is pending. Let's finish it. We'll go to the next one. So I'll be giving some assignment. Okay, I'll be mailing the assignment to everyone. Okay, please make sure you done with that. Okay, so if somebody is working, okay, try to finish it after a few days at least. Okay, so somebody is looking for the job, I request them to, they'll be having some free time, right? I will be requesting them to finish it in a day. What is that? Let's say spike testing. Okay, so spike testing and concurrency. Okay, spike testing is something similar to again load testing. So what we do in the spike testing is, okay, so all these test steps are very important. There will be a lot of interview questions will be coming on this. Okay, so they will ask you what is the difference between this and that, that and this, like this. Okay, so in the spike testing what we do is we increase the load all of sudden, that's it. Okay, this term should come when you are telling about spike testing. Okay, so if you take in the load testing, we increase the load gradually until we reaches to the maximum load, whereas in the spike testing we reach to the maximum load all of sudden. Okay, so like if there are if there are very big sales on some website, okay, let's say on Christmas or Thanksgiving day, you might be knowing, right? So there will be a lots of offers, and all of the people all of sudden they will try to log into the website, and they will try to take out some products, right? So in the same way, if all of users are accessing the application suddenly, okay, the maximum number of users are accessing the application all of a sudden, okay, how your application should behave. Okay. In load testing we increase the load gradually, whereas in the spike testing we increase the load all of a sudden and ensure again it is responsiveness and it is not leaking. Okay, all those things. Yeah, increase the load, number of users are 10 crore. Okay, we'll go for maximum load, increase the maximum. Okay, so again the application should be responsiveness. Once it is reached to the maximum load all of a sudden, the application should be responsiveness, it should not leak any memory, it should not crash. Okay, this is important, it should not crash because we are increasing the load all of a sudden. Okay, so I'll give you an assignment, make sure you complete it, try to complete it. If you get the assignment on time, try to complete it. And I'll also be sending this particular template to everyone. Make sure you go through it, and similar to this you can write test cases for other functionality. Okay, so yeah, thanks everyone. So I request whoever not given their email ID to me, please put me your email ID on the chat. Okay, or you can take my email ID from the Namdar Mona, and please send me that